Two men, same job, same paycheck, down to the dollar, same city, same savings on day one. And on the same afternoon, they each walk into a car dealership. Marcus drives out in a $70,000 SUV, leather seats, that new car smell. He feels like he finally made it. Danny drives out in a $25,000 Toyota, cloth seats, nothing special. He feels like he settled for less. 20 years later, the gap between these two men is $480,000. And here's the part that'll make your stomach drop. They were both staring at the exact same number the whole time, the sticker price. Neither one of them asked the question that actually decided their future. They both think they made the smart choice. They're both about to find out they were only half right. Let's keep this fair. I'm not here to tell you rich people are dumb or that nice cars are evil. So let's make the starting line identical. Marcus and Danny are both 32. Both take home $6,500 a month, the same number. Both have $8,000 in savings. Neither is wealthy. Neither is broke. They live 2 streets apart. They even have the same taste in coffee. The only difference in this entire story is the car sitting in the driveway. That's it. One variable. Everything else, locked. Because if I change their incomes or their discipline, you could say, well, of course. No. Same paycheck, same person, basically. Just one decision made differently. Watch what one decision does over 20 years. For the first few years, Marcus looks like the obvious winner. He pulls up to work and heads turn. Clients trust him more. A guy who drives that must be doing well. His SUV has the cameras, the heated seats, the badge that means something at a stoplight. When his friends ride with him, they're impressed. Marcus feels the return on his money every single morning. Danny? His Toyota does exactly one thing. It goes. No one compliments it. No one notices it. Danny sometimes sits at a red light next to an SUV like Marcus's and feels that small, quiet sting. Maybe I'm the guy who's too cheap to enjoy life. At year 3, if you took a photo of these two lives, Marcus wins. It's not even close. He looks smarter, richer, further ahead. But feelings and math are two very different things. So let's turn off the feelings and turn on the calculator. Year by year, the number everyone talks about is the price difference. $70,000 versus $25,000. $45,000. Okay, you think. So Marcus is 45 grand behind. Not the end of the world. But that was never the real number. Because Marcus didn't pay cash. Almost nobody does at that price. He financed. And a luxury car isn't a one-time choice. It's a lifestyle he has to keep feeding. Here's the monthly reality. Marcus's car payment, about $1,150 a month. Danny's car payment, about $400 a month. Marcus's insurance is higher. Registration, higher. Repairs out of warranty, higher. Premium fuel, higher. Add it all up, and Marcus spends roughly $900 more every single month than Danny just to keep the same lifestyle moving. Now, what did Danny do with his $900? He didn't blow it. He put it into a simple index fund and forgot about it. Same $900 every month, quietly. By year 5, Danny's invested money has grown to about $62,000. Marcus is still making payments. By year 10, Danny is sitting on roughly $155,000. Marcus has traded up to an even nicer SUV, a bigger payment. By year 20, Danny's account is worth about $480,000. Same salary. Same 20 years. One drove a nicer car. The other bought a small fortune. $900 at a time. What nobody talks about is why the gap gets so violent at the end. It's not the price tag. It's 3 silent taxes on the luxury choice, and none of them show up on the window sticker. 1. Depreciation stacks. That $70,000 SUV loses more absolute dollars in its first 5 years than Danny's entire car is worth. And Marcus doesn't do this once. He trades every few years, eating a fresh depreciation hit each time. 2. Interest on the difference. Marcus is paying a bank for the privilege of borrowing more. Danny's difference is paying him. Same money, pointed in opposite directions. 3. The compounding he never sees. This is the killer. Danny's $900 a month doesn't just add up, it multiplies. The money he invested in year 1 worked for 19 more years. None of this shows up in the sticker price, but it shows up eventually. And when it shows up all at once. Marcus paid $45,000 more up front. He lost $480,000 in the end. The gap was 10 times the price tag, and he never felt a single dollar of it leaving. Now, if I only showed you the downsides of Marcus's choice, I'd be doing exactly what every finance influencer does. So let me be honest about the other side. Marcus got something real. For 20 years, he drove in comfort. He felt safe, respected, proud pulling into his driveway. That's not nothing. You can't eat a spreadsheet, and you can't feel $480,000 that's still 20 years away. And Danny paid a price too. A quieter one. 20 years of the small sting. 20 years of the cheap label. Some of those years, that sting was real. If Marcus looked you in the eye and said, "I'd rather enjoy the drive today than be a millionaire at 60, that's a legitimate choice. It's his money and his life. This was never about the car being evil. It's about knowing the true price of the smile. And here's where it gets interesting, because there's a version of this where Marcus is actually right. If the car is a tool that makes him money, he's a realtor driving clients, or the vehicle wins him the contract, then it's not a luxury, it's an investment. Different math entirely. If Marcus buys the $70,000 car once, pays it off, and keeps it for 15 years like it's his last car, the gap shrinks dramatically. The disaster isn't the expensive car, it's the expensive habit. The trade-up, every few years, forever. And if Danny invests his difference but panics and sells the moment the market dips, his $480,000 never happens either. The Toyota alone didn't make him rich. What he did with the difference did. So here's the truth this whole story is really about. The real trap isn't the expensive car, and it isn't the cheap car. The real trap is thinking the price on the window is the price you pay. It never is. The sticker is the smallest number in the entire decision. The real cost is everything that number quietly does for the next 20 years. The payment, the interest, the depreciation, and the fortune you never invested because it was parked in your driveway. Marcus didn't lose $480,000 buying a car. He lost it by never asking what the car was costing him after he bought it. 2 men, same salary. One asked, "What can I afford to buy?" The other asked, "What is this really going to cost me?" That single question, not the paycheck, is what separated their entire lives. So before you sign anything on your next car, ask yourself one question. Not, "Can I make the monthly payment?" Anyone can be talked into a payment. Ask, "What is the difference going to be worth in 20 years?" Because that's the only answer that matters. And if you're wondering what happens when Danny takes that same $480,000 and buys his house in cash while Marcus is still financing his, that's a completely different conversation. And that's the next video. If this made you look at your own driveway a little differently, subscribe. This channel is about the numbers nobody runs for you. And tell me in the comments, are you Marcus or are you Danny? Be honest. I'm reading everyone.